What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Chase, and I'm following up on the story with Tom King trying to cancel Jae Lee that happened at the beginning of this week. I wanted to just let all the dust settle because it was like things just kept advancing each and every day. So I was going to make a video, but I was like, I'm just going to wait until everything has been done and said and see where the pieces land. In the last video, it was just Tom King. He made his post. Since then, Jae Lee has come out and he gave a statement, not directing it at anybody in particular, but come on, we know it's Tom King. So shortly after I actually made my video, Tom King followed up and said, hey, I talked to Jae and everything's cool. It's all good. So on Instagram, Jae Lee said, and he posted here a little memorial to his dog Loki that had just died. And Jae Lee goes on to say, 2 weeks ago, June and I took Loki to San Diego to see a specialist. He did not survive due to complications from the surgery. This past Friday was supposed to be a day of mourning. We were back in San Diego to pick up his ashes. We were going to take him to the beach and comfort each other by sharing our favorite stories about our little boy. Instead, a part of the internet I avoid like the plague came barging in. I had companies I'm working for calling me, friends reaching out to me. I'm seeing hate pouring out of strangers' mouths, accusing me of things I have no knowledge of. I'm seeing firsthand how fast lies are spreading. Let me be clear, I'm not part of any group. We never made it to the beach. We spent the entire 6-hour drive back home on an emotional roller coaster. I'm writing this because I'm angry. These irresponsible tweets are not harmless. They do not just go away. They have real-world consequences. They can take away your job, your life, your memories. June and I were robbed of a special day, so no, we're not all good. This isn't the start of a conversation, this is the end. So please don't drag me into a world I never wanted to be a part of, nor will I ever want to be a part of. I want to honor Loki by going back to producing art made with love for people who enjoy it for what it is, something that hopefully brings joy into their lives. Mommy and Daddy miss you very much, Loki. Our love. Man, if that is not a perfect example of how you should respond to such criticism or vitriol being cast at you, I don't know what is. That was perfectly said. And it's very sad that this had to happen during this very trying time. I've lost animals my own self. You know, they do become like family at a certain point. And when you lose your dog or your cat or whatever it might be, it really does tear you up inside. What I liked of this is he clarified that I'm not part of any group. But obviously you'll see, even to the replies that Jae Lee got on his Insta post, you'll see that people, it's infectious, man. This SJW mentality is infectious, and it warps your mind. Okay, so let's check out some of these posts or these comments that people posted on Jae's Instagram. Glorbo, dude, your work literally promoted and profited off a hate movement. You fed a fire, in ignorance or not, that is still contributing to racism and misogyny. Oh man, you need to accept responsibility for that. Whatever. Moving on. Levi Huntment, whatever. Take personal responsibility for who you do work with. You still did do the work for a hate group. Whether or not you were aware they were a hate group at the time, it can be forgiven, absolutely. But you're not the victim here. Joe Bryan, sorry for your loss. I lost my dog last year and it's rough. Okay, there you go. Joe, shut up. Shut up, dude. Do not continue. Please do not continue. That said, you are responsible as a professional to do your due diligence before accepting a client. And there he goes. And he ain't gonna stop. I wouldn't take a job working for David Duke, Really? You're going to compare this to you working for David Duke? By working on Cyberfrog, you have to accept the responsibility of what comes with that. Tom King didn't know you were grieving. He saw your name on the cover of a book that is so toxic associating with it might close Dynamite Comics, and he made the correct professional decision to separate his name from yours. I accept you didn't know what Cyberfrog represents, but you still have to accept responsibility for your professional association with a hate group. First off, Joe Bryan, have you even read Cyberfrog? Okay, it's literally about a frog that gets transformed into a cybernetic organism, and he goes on adventures. Tell me where the hate is in that. Tom King has, I think, came out on, it was July 28th, so a couple days ago, and he said, and he gave a statement issuing an actual formal apology to Jae Lee and what he did. So let's go ahead and read that. As I have done privately, I'd like to publicly apologize to Jae Lee for my actions a few days ago. I should have talked with Jay before I sent a tweet about him that put his career at risk. I made a critical mistake, and I am profoundly sorry. I will do what I can to repair this with Jay, and I will do better in the future. I'm not going to offer explanations because they sound like excuses, and I'm not asking for forgiveness or understanding. I'm just saying I see what I did, and I'm going to try and make up for it. Thank you. I have kept up the tweets to this point in order to show that I was not hiding my actions. I will now take them down. I gotta say, I'm actually a fan of that apology. I think it was good. I think it was sincere. That should be the end of it, right? It's come to a close. Let Jay and Tom work things out. It's not our place anymore. But of course, that is not the end of it. And people are now mad at Jae Lee, the victim of this whole debacle. Heather Ontos says, Heather Ontos, Milkshake Girl, the queen of the Milkshake Girls, still waiting for any accountability from Jay. Dan Slott, the writer of Spider-Man, he's a big time comic book writer. He wrote Spider-Man for quite some time. I think he's writing Iron Man right now. We're talking about an ill-informed person who unknowingly took up work from a known hate group, one that had maliciously targeted women, LGBTQIA+, and minority members in comics and profited from it. And then they were working for a mainstream publisher and was called out for it. Tim Doyle. Chicken Bones Tim Doyle. Let's see what he says. Would it have been great for Tom to do this privately? Sure. But whether Jay knew about CG before or not, he knows now. And Tom pointing out Jay was working with the hate group is not Tom's fault. Jay's response is lacking and manipulative. ID gaff about his dead dog. If you want to know what ID gaff means, is I don't give a woo about his dead dog regarding this. Also, throwing in the bit about his dog is an obvious ploy for sympathy. The death of Jay's dog has literally nothing to do with this work with a hate group. And including it in the story makes me doubt his honesty here. It's manipulative. Who's part of the hate group here? Because I gotta say, like, just from what I've read so far, I don't think Jay's part of the hate group. This guy, Zayden Brantley. Exactly. People need to be brought to task for their associations. A statement is a good start, but further inquiry into their relations and finances shouldn't be ruled out. What? Inquiry into their relations and finances? What are you talking about here, Z? Like people gotta report their financial reports to the public, be like, hey, this is who I've been doing business with. Zayden, here you go, bro. Here's my financial reports for the year. Am I all good? Am I in your good graces? Have I unknowingly worked with any hate group? Piss off, Zayden. You and your soy boy looking ass. Renfamous. The only one victimizing Jae Lee is the hate group who tricked him into doing work for them and risked damaging his reputation forever. SJW Spider-Man. Hey, if you accidentally join a hate group, but then get mad that it was pointed out to you and blame the messenger, then I guess you are cool with the hate group. Who's the hate group here? So, closing thoughts, here it is. Tom apologized. It's good enough for me. There's no more story here for me. And the only thing Tom needs to do now, and I expect this very shortly, Tom, now it's time to apologize for your writing on Batman. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you like this video, please go down, like it, subscribe. If you haven't already, ring that bell for notifications. If you disagree, if you're like Jae Lee, ignorance is no excuse. He has to know that he was working with a hate group. That's how you feel? Let me know. I love reading comments that are contrary to the topic of the video. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that is it. And as always, peace out.